Alright, good afternoon. It's Tuesday. Starting this vlog on a Tuesday because I had to wrap up last week's vlog yesterday and finish off my final book for April. So it is the 30th and I have started a book. I started it yesterday. I'm only one chapter in. It's currently 22:02. I had a very slow start to the day. I woke up at 9:30 this morning, got up to pee and brush my teeth, nipped downstairs to get my Monster, and then ended up getting back in bed because I felt really dizzy. I dropped a couple of things on my way downstairs, dropped a couple of things on the way back up. Got back in bed, doom scrolled for a little bit, debated having a nap, doom scrolled for a little bit, hoped that the dizziness would go away after I'd eaten something, had some of my Monster, but it hadn't. I eventually got up, had a shower, stumbled in the shower a couple of times, and then once I got out, and I am feeling incredibly dizzy today, so I'm going to try and do a lot of sitting, which I do anyway. The majority of my job is sitting at the desk working, so we're going to do more of that today though, because every time I stand up I feel incredibly dizzy and I don't know what's going on. So anyway, we move forward. So I have some editing to do. I need to wrap up. I've already edited most of last week's vlog. I just need to do the last couple of clips for that. I've just filmed my April wrap up, so I need to edit that. I've got some invoicing to do today for my dad because it's the last day of the month, so hopefully he sent those through. I may have to call him to remind him. But the book that I have started, this is going to be essentially kind of like a final book support group, almost pretty much weekly vlog. It's going to go into Monday next week because final book support group is this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's a long weekend because it's bank holiday next week. However, because I work for myself, bank holidays don't count for me anymore. So, you know, we're going to run it into Monday next week with this vlog, and then I will do Tuesday through till Sunday for the following week, and we will be back to our regularly scheduled Monday to Sunday vlogs. But the book that I have started is A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. I know this is the start of a series. It is what it is. However, it's a duology, so if I enjoy this enough, I may read the second one and wrap this series up in a week. I may read it this weekend. So far, I am currently 25 pages in. I've only read the first chapter. Why are the chapters so long in this book? It's unnecessary. We are following Jack Tamerlane, and we're also following Adira. Adira is the heiress of the East, and Jack Tamerlane is a bard. So there is something going on in this world. The Capricus spirits that live on the magical Isle of Cadence find mirth in the lives of the humans who call the land home, but that mischief turns to malevolence as girls begin to go missing. I think Adira is trying to find these girls and she needs the help of Jack, who is her ex-best friend, and there is a mystery element in the background going on with this, obviously with the missing girls. So I'm intrigued to find out what's going to happen. However, I'm not as gripped as I hoped I would be with the first chapter. We've basically just followed Jack going back to the Isle of Cadence, trying to find his way home, and something has happened on his route in. So yeah, so far that's all that's happened. So this is my main focus for the week. This is my Patreon buddy read for March and April, and the live show will be next Tuesday the 7th in the evening. So I do need to get this read this week, otherwise I would have pushed it into next week, but I don't have the time next week. So this is my main focus. As far as everything else is concerned, I don't 100% have my TBR for final book support group set in stone. Tomorrow we're going bed shopping. I mean me and Andy. We are going bed shopping tomorrow. I desperately need a new bed. We've been talking about it for months anyway, but it's time to fire this up and get it sorted because his move-in time has kind of come forward significantly, to be honest. We were going to wait until he's passed his driving test, but we're actually going to bring it forward to probably before he's passed his driving test and make it work for a period of time. Money is tight. I don't know how many other people are struggling in the world, but I imagine it's a lot, and especially like in the UK. I don't know what the condition of other people's countries is, but in the UK we are out here struggling, and as I'm not single anymore, but as a woman living on her own, trying to keep a roof over her head, pay her mortgage, pay her bills, keep busy all of the time with work, and who is self-employed as well, works for herself, I am struggling terribly. So it makes no sense for us to live separate anymore, and it makes sense for us to bring this date forward, and we're hoping within the next couple of months he will be in here. So I need to get a new bed, so we're going to go bed shopping tomorrow, and I have started sorting out that box room as well, which will become the spare room. We're going to get a sofa bed in there, and it will also become his games room, so his PlayStation will go in there with a new TV so that he can have his own space, and I have mine in here, and then we have our, you know, mutual spaces with the bedroom, living room, kitchen, dining room, etc. So yeah, it's really important for us as a couple because of who we are as people. We know each other very, very well, having been best friends for 10 years before we got together, and now being together almost 2 years. It was 2 years in May. We know each other so incredibly well. So we are very independent of each other, but we also are very not dependent by any means. We don't have codependency issues or anything, but we love to spend time together as well. We also love to spend time together but doing our own thing. So I love to sit at his now. I love to sit in bed reading while he's playing the PlayStation. We're quite happy to do our own thing but together. So I imagine there may be days when he's playing on his PlayStation and I might just go and sit in that room on the sofa bed. We'll see whether or not that happens, I don't know. But it's important to us to have our own spaces. So I have said to him that box room, he can have that as his man cave if he wants. Put his PlayStation in there, and he's got a place to play his PlayStation without being downstairs. So like, again, even if I want to go downstairs and watch TV, he's not hogging the TV with the PlayStation, he's got his own space. So I think that's what we're going to do. So I need to focus on getting that room sorted as well. He has said for me to leave it, and we'll do it once he moves in, but it would be really nice for him to be able to just move a TV in there and put his PlayStation in there, and he's set up and ready to go once he moves in. So that is the plan. So yeah, busy week, off to bed shop, well, busy day working today for myself and also my dad. But bed shopping tomorrow. Thursday and Friday, one of those 2 days I will work at my brother's. The other one I will probably spend with Andy because he's off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week. And then he's in work over the weekends, final book support group Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Monday. So I'll be doing sprints on all of those days and lots of reading, hopefully. Really want to get my work done for this week so that I can just focus on reading for the rest of the week. So fingers crossed that's all going to happen. I've got quite a bit to do now, so I'm going to get going, but I will check back in with you when I do have some form of an update on this. Obviously I'm only a chapter in so far, so I don't have too much to tell you about it, but right now I've got to tidy because there are books everywhere after doing my wrap up, so I got to sort that out. Okay, it's 5 o'clock. I'm done with work for the day. I have got changed again. It is still Tuesday. This is gonna fuck me up again this week. I should probably sit down and do some reading, but I'm not. I'm gonna watch some TV and make some tea. But this has been left for me. And I don't know what it is. So let's find out together. Wait. This has come from Penguin. I have 2 books. Okay, so the first one is my love story with Yamada-kun at LV999. And it is a manga. And it comes out on the 14th of May. So an award-winning manga that inspired the anime My Love Story with Yamada-kun at LV999. College student Akane has just been dumped by her boyfriend. Heartbroken, she decides to quit the online RPG they used to play together. But instead of deleting her account, she logs in and battles low-level enemies to relieve her stress and hurt feelings. There she meets Yamada, an elite pro gamer, so reclusive that Akane can't decide if he's awkward or alluring. When Akane encounters her ex at a gaming convention, she makes the snap decision to pretend Yamada is her boyfriend, and soon the two of them are spending time together both in the game and in real life. The problem is, Yamada is interested only in the game. As Akane's feelings grow, will Yamada's focus shift? Cute! I love this cover, this is cute. And then the second one is very exciting indeed. You will have probably just spotted it. This comes out on the 7th of May. I am stoked to have a copy of this, an early copy of this, because I get the Illumicrate editions, and because they do them as a twosome these days, it's ages before we get them, so I end up buying like another copy. So now I don't need to. It's Lore Olympus Volume 6 by Rachel Smith. Lore Olympus follows Persephone and Hades, and they basically, Persephone has ended up in the underworld, I think it's called, and they have a kind of bit of a romance but almost not going on. Contemporary reimagining of one of the best known stories in Greek mythology. That's what it is. And it's like the only Greek mythology that I've actually been able to stick to and be very, very excited about every single time a new volume comes out. The illustrations are stunning. Shout out to Penguin Random House for sending these two, because that's incredible. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. This makes me very excited. It's Final Book Support Group weekend this weekend, so I might end up picking, I think I probably will end up picking this up for Final Book Support Group this weekend. So that's exciting. I do want to pick this up as well. I would like to read them both before they actually officially come out. So stoked. Thank you so much. Jeez. It's a video, babe. It's a video. You'll be able to watch this, it's going on YouTube. You're going to be on YouTube, aren't you? You're going to be YouTube famous. Come on then. You coming? Whee! Good job. Good evening. It is Friday and it's 6 minutes past 5. I've just put some food in the oven for my tea. And it is Final Book Support Group Day 1. I have not started yet. This week's reading has been going about as good as last week's reading, honestly. I don't know if it's me or the book. In all honesty, I'm in no mood to read this right now, which makes me really sad because I did want to enjoy this. Kathleen and Caitlin have been recommending this to me for ages and encouraged me to get the second one from Fairy Loots that I had the matching duology. So I did do that, but I'm not in the mood for it, and I don't know if it's me or the book. I read the first chapter on Monday, and then until today I read Sweet FA the rest of the week. So don't know what's going on with me, honestly. I did make it to page 93 this morning. Andy went on the PlayStation when I woke up for a couple of hours because he woke up at like stupid o'clock this morning, maybe 4 o'clock, and went into the living room because he knew he wasn't going to go back to sleep. So he went into the living room to watch some TV for a bit, let me carry on sleeping, and then when I woke up he came back in but went on the PlayStation. So it did give me an opportunity to do a bit of reading because I have not been reaching for my book. I have been watching telly with him instead. It's going fine. I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to continue on with this throughout the weekend and hopefully try and finish it before the end of Final Book Support Group. I know it's the beginning of a series, but there's nothing I can do about that. It is what it is. It's my Patreon buddy read for March and April, and the live show is on the 7th. And then I do have this rather large stack of books that I am intrigued about. So I've kind of gone off piste a little bit because Terms and Conditions is on my TBR for this month, and that is a continuation station for me. It's the second book in the Dreamland Billionaire series, but I don't want to read it. I don't know, maybe I've missed the boat on that series now, I'm not sure. So I do love to read a good thriller during these readathons, and especially like a thriller in a day or a couple of hours. I love doing that. So I have whacked The Housemaid's Secret by Frida McFadden on here. This is the second in this series. I've really enjoyed the first one, and I know there's a third one coming out soon. So the audiobook is on BookBeat, so I can listen to it on there. So I may read this one. This could change. I just wanted to give you a rundown of what's on as an idea on my TBR. Then we've got Powerful by Lauren Roberts, which is the novella for Powerless series. Reckless comes out in a couple of months, I think. So this one has just come out. It's a short novella. Shouldn't take me too long to get through, but I'm very intrigued to read Adina's side of things. So yeah, I do really want to read this one, and I am pretty convinced that this will be a definite for this weekend. Again, audiobooks on BookBeat for this one. Then I've got a throwback. This is a huge throwback. It's been on my shelves for a really long time. It was the first book in the Afterlight box, and it is The Heart Principle by Helen Huang, which is the third and final book in this series. So I've loved the first two, and I don't know why it's taken me so long to get to this one. So I kind of want to prioritize it for a number of reasons. First of all, it's a final book. Second of all, it's been on my shelves for so long. And third of all, it's on my 24 books in 2024 list. So, and I'm really behind on that list. So I want to start prioritizing some of the books. This is also on there, but it's from the 12 books from 12 friends side of things. Whereas this one is one that I put on myself because I wanted to prioritize it this year. Otherwise, it would have been a case of unhauling it, which seems ridiculous because it's the last in the series. So this is an option, and I'm pretty certain I'll probably try and get to this one because I do want to prioritize that. In the same vein, The Arctic Railway Assassin is on that list as well, but it's from 12 books from 12 friends. So, however, I haven't read Sabotage on the Solar Express yet. So these are just a couple middle grade that will be really quick to get through. I've got both the audiobooks from my library at the moment, so it makes sense to try and get to them. And it will finish a series because this is the final one in the series. So again, very quick reads. I could smash both of these out in a day. And then I do have, as far as graphic novels and manga are concerned, I have got Lore Olympus Volume 6, which came in earlier on this week from Del Rey. So shout out to them for sending me a copy of this, and it does come out on Tuesday next week, but I would like to read and review it for them for release date. This vlog obviously won't go up till Wednesday. So I do have that one. I also have Death Note Volume 3, which I'm still partway through. I started this during the 24 manga in 24 hours, but it was taking me too long to get through. So I do want to circle back round to this one and try and finish it off for continuation station. This is what I've got left. This is what I've read. So I've got that one, and then another one I'm halfway through. It's not a manga, it's a novel, and it is Mina and the Cult by Amy McCall, which is a final book as well. I am 189 pages into this. It is a physical read, so this is probably one that I might do like around bedtime maybe, just try and get like 40 pages through or something in the evenings. So yeah, that is a lot of books. Do I think I'm going to get through them all? Absolutely not, especially if I've got this going on in the background as well. But we're going to see what happens with that. So I do have lots of options, which I always like to do because I like to have options. And then I do have a couple parcels, so I thought we could open these up together while I'm here and see what's inside. I'm fairly certain that this is my final box from the Locked Library. I signed up to them after I cancelled my Fairy Loot box, my Fairy Loot YA box, because I wanted to try them out. I just wanted to give some other subscription boxes a go and see what they offer. in all honesty, I haven't been overly enthused by their books. So I have cancelled it, and this will be my last book from them. No shade to them whatsoever. They're doing a great job, and I've no doubt that these books will be books for other people. But for me, unfortunately not. And this is going to be one of them. It is The Silence Factory by Bridget Collins. I have had no luck with Bridget Collins because I do not like her writing style. This is a very beautiful cover though, I'm not gonna lie. These end paper, sprayed edges, stunning. Yeah, this isn't, there is a Dear Reader letter. This isn't gonna be for me, I can already tell you that. I DNF'd the binding, an enthralling story about complicity, desire and corruption, a novel to lose yourself in. Very stunning book, but I already know, I can tell you right now, this book isn't going to be for me. It looks like it does have a bookmark in it as well, a ribbon bookmark in it as well, which is nice. So yeah, I can already tell you this isn't going to be for me, and this is the last book from Locked Library for me. And then I do have a Blackwell's parcel here, so this is clearly a pre-order from myself. So let's find out what's inside. Fairly certain I only pre-ordered this the other... Oh yeah, I did pre-order this the other day. I'm so excited about this, and I wanted to get it from Blackwell's because I think this cover is much prettier than the UK cover. I will show a copy of the UK cover here, but this is the US cover, and it is Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose, and already I've heard great things. This, way nicer than this. What in the fuck is this? I'm sorry to the publishers, but what in the fuck is this? How are you doing us this dirty, UK publishers? Because that is not a nice cover compared to this. Real talk now, how cool is this fucking cover? This is one of the coolest covers I've ever seen. It reminds me very much so of the likes of like the Mina covers, you know? Like this again is like pretending it's being, you know, a VHS box. I fucking love that. I grew up with VHSs though, like tapes. I grew up with that, so I am that old, yes. Oh, it just gets better. How cool is that? It's an old school TV for those of you that are too young to know what the fuck that is. This is really cool. Okay, right, this was totally worth the money because it was not cheap. I am very excited about this. It's a thriller, haunting thriller. A chilling family thriller about the sometimes literal skeletons in your closet. Sign me up. See, now I really want to read this. Now that it's coming, now I really want to read this. Dang it. I always do this to myself. It's got such short chapters as well. This is one of my biggest gripes about this book. Chapters are so fucking long. Really long. Like, not Robin Hobb long, or, you know, The Wheel of Time long. But, you know, for a... Oh, is it YA fantasy? I don't fucking know. They're long. They're long. For me, they're long. I don't... The sweet spot for me is like, as far as a long chapter is concerned, the sweet spot for me is like 10 pages. That's it. That is my limit. Otherwise, I get bored really easy. But this has like, I don't know, 5 pages max. Sign me up. I fucking love thrillers that have short chapters, and it's not even that long either. I'm really excited about this. This cover is so much nicer than the UK one. So much nicer. 246 pages. I want to read it right now. Really shouldn't, but I want to read it right now. Right, so yeah, these are the books that have come in. You can clearly see I'm excited about this one, not at all about this one. It'll probably go straight back out, to be honest. Which is a shame, but it is what it is. So yeah, I've just come on here to unbox those with you and tell you this lamp drives me fucking insane, because it does this with the live shows as well, because it's right behind me. I have to close my door too. Well, pull it forward so that you can't see the light as much. It literally doesn't matter, but you couldn't see me much there because I was blurry. So that was a really large stack of books that I wanted to show you that I may or may not get to this weekend. That could change entirely. I do this all the fucking time and then want to punch myself in the face because I change my mind. But we're gonna see what happens. I honestly don't know where to start, in all honesty. Like, it would make sense to try and finish, for example, Death Note, because it will be a quick win, but I don't know how long it will take me to get through this. In a similar vein, I am tempted to try and do Sabotage on the Solar Express tonight and finish it all, and then I'm not reading these entirely back to back, because that, again, I can get bored with. So maybe I'll do that. As soon as I know what I'm doing, I'll let you know. But for right now, I'm just focusing on trying to get some tea before I start sprints in 40 minutes. So I'll keep you posted as soon as I know what I'm reading. That is all.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know, if I'll ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down. Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly.
Okay, good afternoon. It is Saturday and it's gone 12:30, I think. I have a few reading updates for you. I meant to do a reading update for you last night and I completely forgot. So, first of all, we are going to unbox some parcels. One of these I have ordered, the other one is clearly an Afterlight box and I'm not sure what the one in the middle is. So I'll do the one I've ordered last because it's actually something I want to read this weekend. Oh yay, I was going to say I thought I've cancelled Afterlight. I have. This is the Afterlight edition of Funny Story by Emily Henry with the pretty sprayed edges. I do collect these ones. Ooh, that's some pretty end papers. Is she reading a book about penguins? Look at him. Good lord. And underneath the dust jacket, beautiful. And the other end papers. I'm really excited to read this one. I haven't read it yet. I do have the Waterstones edition as well, but I'm stoked to read this one. It's also signed by Emily as well. So yeah, very, very excited to read that one. I forgot that was coming. And then in here, I'm not sure what this is or who it's from. Okay, so this is from Penguin Random House. Shout out to them for sending me this. It does come out on the 4th of July this year, and it is Breaking the Dark by Lisa Jewell, which is a Jessica Jones crime novel. Now, I'm a huge Marvel fan, massive, really, really big Marvel fan. The Jessica Jones series I started watching but didn't finish, and I do want to because I did enjoy it. Love me a good crime series. And I read my first Lisa Jewell last year with None of This Is True. So I'm really stoked to get a copy of this. I don't know if there's others in this series specifically. I think there might be, but I'm not 100% certain. It doesn't say. Oh, hang on. It doesn't say. So, Breaking the Dark, the first book in the brand new Marvel crime series, introduces fans to a gritty, street-level side of the Marvel universe and will continue with original novels featuring fan favourite characters like Luke Cage, written by S.A. Cosby, and Daredevil, written by Alex Segura. Nice. So yeah, very excited about that. Thank you to Penguin for sending me that one. I truly appreciate it. And then in here, we do have a graphic novel that I've been very excited to get to. I didn't even know this was releasing, and then I found out about it about a week or two ago, probably while I was on holiday. And it is Lightfall Book 3 by Tim Probert. This is such a good series, and I really enjoy it. We follow Bee and Cad, and in the first one, Bee is a young girl. Her grandfather is a wizard, I believe, and she ends up meeting Cad, and they end up going on this adventure to try and find her grandfather. As far as I know, I think they're still on this adventure. But it's just really good. There's like a pig wizard and some other different characters, and it's really good. I absolutely love it. The illustration style is gorgeous as well, and I want to read this weekend because it will get me up to date again, unless this is the final one in the series, which I'm not sure about. And I won't know until I get to the end. So very excited about this one. So my actual reading update for now is that I've finished 2 books. So my poll pick for this reading vlog, for this readathon, was Kate by Tate James, it was Shadowlands by Stacey Marie Brown, and a third book whose name I cannot remember. I think it was Soul of a Witch by Harley LaRue. Those are my poll picks, all of them final books, and Kate by Tate James won, just about. Shadowlands was very close. However, I'm not in the mood to read that, so I switched things up, and last night I said to my, not my patrons, because I wasn't sprinting with patrons, I said to the public while we were on sprints, you are going to do my poll pick right now. So the options were Powerful by Lauren Roberts, or Sabotage on the Solar Express by M.G. Leonard and Sam Sedgman, which is the 5th book in a middle grade series. And they picked this one because it was a great gateway into getting to the final book, whereas Powerful is a continuation station in which the next book in the series is not out yet. So this made sense, and I'm so glad that they picked this as options. So I did read Sabotage on the Solar Express. This series follows Harrison Beck, whose nickname is Hal, and in the first book, which is Highland Falcon Thief, he goes on a train trip. His uncle Nat is obsessed with trains, and he's a journalist. He goes on a train trip on the Highland Falcon, which is a train, obviously, with his uncle Nat, but there ends up being a thief on the train, and Harrison is actually accused of being the thief, and he helps solve the mystery. And then this series just continues on to solve different mysteries on different trains. So we've got Kidnap on the California Comet, Murder on the Safari Star, Danger at Dead Man's Pass, Sabotage on the Solar Express, and Arctic Railway Assassin. And I just love this series. It's so much fun. Both of these got 5 stars. I absolutely love them, and it has wrapped up a 6-book series, which I'm stoked about. So I had a fantastic time with both of these. Very good indeed, and I am now 2 books down for this readathon, which is great news. And I've managed to smash out Continuation Station and final book. So, and poll pick as well, and take part in a sprint, because I hosted some sprints last night. So my aim now is, I've ended up splitting A River Enchanted into 3 parts so that I can read a chunk of it each day for the next 3 days, today, tomorrow and Monday, to get it finished for Monday. That is my aim. I don't want this running into next week. So I'm currently on page 93, and I have to read 124 pages a day. Sorry, 123 pages a day to get through this, which breaks my heart a little bit, but it is what it is. So I've got sprints starting at 2, and I'm hoping that I can get through this before they start so that I can just go into sprints, starting another book for the readathon. So I need to get to page 226, which is a little bit more, but it was the closest I could get to the 123 page mark. But it's just over, which does mean that some of my pages are reduced in the next 2 chunks. So I'm going to continue on with this. I can't remember if I've given you a synopsis of this or not. I think I have at the beginning of the week when I first started it. So I'm going to continue on with this one. We are following Jack Tamerlan, and he has been brought back to his hometown of Cadence. It's an isle. And an island, and basically recently young girls have been going missing, and the spirits have been taking the young girls. Now his ex-best friend Adira has called him back because she thinks that the only thing that can help control the spirits and actually give the girls back is Jack Tamerlan, as he is a bard. She she thinks his music will help get the girls back. So she's brought him back home. There's some animosity between those two, and there's obviously this mystery surrounding the girls going missing. And it is interesting, to be fair, so far. I am having just paint crumbling off of my windowsill. It is interesting so far, and I am intrigued. Now that I've given you that synopsis, I am a bit more intrigued to pick this back up again, so I'm going to do that. I think splitting it up into 3 parts is a good idea. If I really get into it this afternoon, maybe I'll try and finish it today, but if not, and the 3 parts thing is working out for me and I'm still not 100% into it, I will do that instead. So I'll come back and keep you updated on this. I'm not sure what I'm going to pick up after I have done my pages for this / finish this. I do still have Death Note Volume 3, now Lightfall Book 3, Powerful, Mina and the Cult, which I really do want to finish, but it's a physical read, The Heart Principle, The Housemaid's Secret, which is probably the book, to be honest, that I will end up ditching off my TBR, and Lore Olympus Volume 6. So I think I really want to get to Lore Olympus Volume 6 today as well. So it would be really nice if I could finish like 2 books a day. That would be great. But today may be like a graphic novel manga day, maybe, because I've got to still do my 223 pages a day of this. Albeit, I finished this today. So I didn't finish 2 books yesterday, but I have already finished this today. So if I could get a graphic novel in or manga as well, and then maybe make some progress in something else, maybe Mina and the Cult, that would be great, as well as making some progress in this. It's going to be a busy day, but it is what it is. I am excited. I'm excited to make progress in some graphic novel and manga series. I really do want to get to The Heart Principle though. That might be a tomorrow read, or maybe even start it this evening. We'll see how I'm getting on, but I will come back and give you an update. I just wanted to do those unboxings with you and let you know that I have finished 2 books so far for this readathon, and I'm having a great time. So if I'm struggling with this, it could be my mood still, but I'm suspicious that it's probably the book. So because I've enjoyed these so much, after saying that they're middle grade, they're very easy to get through. I'm already part way through the series. I've now finished it, so I'm familiar with the characters and the setup and the writing style, whereas this is actually it's not a new to me author. I have read something from this author before, which was Divine Rivals, but it is quite different setting, if you know what I mean. So I'm gonna carry on reading. I'm gonna put these books away. Thank you again to Penguin Random House for this. I do appreciate you. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So I will check back in with you and have another update for you. Good morning, team. I am tired this morning. It is 10:51 and I have sprints at 12. I've not long since got up. I am struggling this morning. I did set an alarm for 9:30, but I ended up keep delaying it because I didn't want to get up. I'm tired. Right, I have a couple of reading updates. Yesterday I did read all of Lightfall The Dark Times, which is book 3 in this series. I just adore this series. It is so cute. It is following B and Gad. B is human, Gad is a Galdorian, and he is wanting to find out what happened to his people. B initially in the first book is looking for her grandfather, who is a pig wizard, and then things just kind of escalate from there, and we're at a point now where the sun has gone, and obviously the planet is starting to die because it's in darkness all the time. So they're trying to now figure out how to get the sun back and whether or not they can fix this problem, and it's just so sweet. They ended up in a massive library, and the illustrations in this are just stunning. I absolutely love it, and I have a good time with this every single time. Like, Bea and Galdorian are really, really sweet, and there's a couple of other characters. Here is Bea's grandfather, the pig wizard, and I just have a good time with it every single time. So I did give this one 5 stars. It was so good. This whole series just had 5 stars from me. So yeah, had a fantastic time with this one. And then I started The Heart Principle yesterday as well. I ended up, when we came off sprints about 7:30ish, I ended up stopping reading for the day because I've been reading since like 12-ish, and I was absolutely shattered, I'm not gonna lie. So I ended up stopping reading, and I did get to 202 pages, so I don't have too long left. I've got less than 2 hours left on this, on the audio. And I'm glad that I'm getting to this one. This is the final book in the Kiss Quotient series, and I read the Kiss Quotient and the Bride Test years ago. This one came out in 2021. I actually thought it was longer than that, and this is the first ever Afterlight book. So I've had it for a long time. So this is my TBR vet, and it's also a final book. And this one is following Anna and also Quan. Now, Anna is a violinist. She loves what she does, but after some kind of like a quick moment in the spotlight, she, like totally by accident, she ends up finding herself struggling to play the violin anymore. She gets to a certain point in the song, makes a mistake and has to start again. She is seeing a therapist, and I can't remember what's been said in the back. Oh, and her boyfriend of 5 years has opened up to her and said that he would like to get married, but he's just wondering whether or not they should explore their options first before they make a full commitment to each other. Complete fucking douchebag. She deserves better. So they end up in this open relationship. So she's like, right, so you're going to sleep around then? He's like, well, yeah. And she's like, okay. So she ends up on this dating site in which she meets Quan. Now, the idea is that they just have a one-night stand and that's it. Nothing else happens after that. But they end up starting to talk and have a conversation. Quan really likes her. And the first time that they do actually try and get down and do the dirty, it doesn't go as planned. It turns out that Anna actually has autism, and she didn't know. And she's being told this from her therapist. And it's absolutely fascinating. I have ADHD, not 100% diagnosed yet by a medical professional, but I'm in the process of getting it diagnosed. But it's absolutely interesting to see some of the traits in Anna in myself. I can see myself a lot in Anna, in the way that she thinks, in the way that things happen, and it's fascinating. This is what I love about reading books with ADHD representation but also autism representation, because some of the lines do blur significantly with some of the traits within both ADHD and autism, which is how quite a few people have both. I don't know if I do have both. I will find out when I finally get diagnosed, I suppose, but it's just a couple of the traits that I know do blur the lines between both ADHD and autism. So especially like on the sexual side of things for Anna, those are some things that I relate to heavily, and I'm having a good time with it. It's been years since I've read a Helen Huang, and I just forgot how good her writing style is. These books, I was saying yesterday that these books are pretty much carbon copies of each other, if you like, a little bit like what Ali Hazelwood does, in that the characters are very similar, the situations are quite similar, etc, etc. I mean, it's a romance. Generally romances do tend to be carbon copies of each other, just with different levels of spice, cutesy, dark, etc, suspense. Whereas these are very much carbon copies of each other. I remember the Kiss Quotient and the Bride Test very, very well, and they are similar. I think if I read these books back to back, I would get bored, but because I haven't, and it's been years since I've read them, it's really nice to be back with Helen Huang's writing style and characters like this. I just really enjoy myself. Quan is Michael's best friend. Michael is the main character from the first book. So it's nice again to see a bit of Michael. We haven't seen any of Stella yet, but yeah, I'm just having a good time with it. It's going well so far. So I think it's about to get a little bit more, very much more emotional. I remember when this came out and people were reading it, they were expecting the vibes of the Kiss Quotient and Bride Test, and it is way more heavy on the emotional side. So I think that is a big difference here, because in both the Kiss Quotient and the Bride Test, Stella and I think it was Kai in the Bride Test both knew they were autistic, whereas Anna doesn't, and there is a secondary situation going on in here that I think is going to bring heartbreak to the family, so as a whole. So yeah, really enjoying it so far and having a good time. I'm going to continue on with this and I'm going to get it finished. Also, update on A River Enchanted. I did read my 123 pages yesterday, so I'm now currently on page 226. I am torn between whether or not to try and just blast through this today, as well as the Heart Principle, and just get it finished so that tomorrow I can focus on something else, or whether to do the 123 pages for today and then just see how I'm feeling. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I will come back and update you. The books that I would still really like to get to on my TBR are Lore Olympus Volume 6. I definitely want to pick that one up, but I know full well it will not take me long to do that. I can smash that out in a sprint. Maybe I'll do it between the Heart Principle and A River Enchanted. Death Note Volume 3 I would really like to finish off. That is something that I could do in the background of some other vlogs though, so it's not a priority massively, but Mina and Nicole I really would like to finish off. However, tomorrow I will be working. I've got patron sprints in the morning and then public sprints in the evening for Final Book Support Group. It's going to be a long day tomorrow. And today the weather is fucking glorious. It's supposed to be raining all weekend, and I'm going to be so pissed if I put myself down for a double shift of sprints and the weather's glorious tomorrow on Bank Holiday Monday and I could have done something with my family instead. I'm going to be so annoyed. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I will come back to you with an update probably when I finish the Heart Principle, and I'll let you know what I'm doing. I'm going to do sprints from in here today because I don't really want to do them from downstairs again today. The F1 race is on this evening from 9 o'clock as well, so I am going to be watching that later on. Last night I did watch the F1 quali, and then I watched Clarkson's Farm Season 3 episodes 1 to 4 as well. It was very, very sad. So yeah, I did do some self-care last night. I think the only prompts that I actually have left to complete, this one is the TBR vet, so I will be finishing that one. And then what was the other prompt? Share TBR on socials as well. So I haven't shared my TBR on the socials because I am a little bit all over the place, but on tomorrow, as I'm going through the weekend, I'm taking some pictures and I will share what I read on social media, but also just like a collection of photos from my weekend, like a weekend photo dump. So that's what I'm going to do on Monday, so I will complete that one as well, and I'll have a full bingo. Smashed it, mate. So I'm going to go and I'll check in with you and have another update for you. Evening. It's still Sunday. I got changed because it was relatively warm and I didn't need my sweater on, but it is much later in the day. It's 7:05. I finished sprints. I need to go down and make some food now, and I wanted to come and give you a reading update because I have a significant one. So I finished The Heart Principle by Helen Huang. I loved this. I thought it was absolutely fantastic for all of the reasons that I mentioned earlier, that I can relate to Anna significantly, not necessarily with autism but with ADHD, finding out very late on in my life, and also as Anna does with her diagnosis, and also coming to terms with that and trying to figure out the balance between masking and unmasking, and like all of the reasons why we do the things that we do. So absolutely fantastic, very gut-wrenching, a much more serious story than the previous two were, I think, and I ended up giving this one 5 stars. I've been giving out a lot of 5 stars recently, I'm not gonna lie. So that is my 4th book complete for Final Book Support Group. Then I did go on to Lore Olympus Volume 6. I love this series, it's just so freaking good. This one got 4.5 stars. I do feel like we were jumping around a little bit more than we normally do with this story. And sometimes it is hard to keep all of the characters straight, but regardless, I am still really enjoying myself with this story, and I cannot wait for volume 7. I don't know how many volumes of this there is going to be, and it would be very easy for me to find out because I believe that this is online, and you can read it for free online. Listen, I am not giving up having the very pretty Illumicrate editions of these, okay? I do have a normal edition of volume 5 because volume 5 and 6 are going to come together from Illumicrate, and I have ordered those, so when they come I will probably get rid of the normal editions. But thank you to Del Rey for sending me a copy of this, I truly appreciate it indeed, and I'm very excited. I've had the chance to read this so that I can review it for release day on Tuesday. So this one did get 4.5 stars, and I am now up to date once again with that series. And then A River Enchanted, I'm still making my way through. This will probably be my final book for this readathon. I was going to do reading sprints all day tomorrow, patron sprints in the morning, and then Final Book Support Group sprints in the evening from 4 o'clock. So it was going to be a double whammy of sprints all day for me, very busy day, so that I could get a lot of work done and hopefully some reading still as well. I wanted to try and fit in like a couple more manga, or even try and finish Mina and the Cult. That's not going to happen now. I have made the decision to cancel sprints tomorrow and actually take tomorrow as a day off. I rarely get the chance to take advantage of bank holidays, and it's rarely nice on a bank holiday. It's supposed to be reasonable weather tomorrow. I truly don't care if the sun isn't even out, just as long as it's dry and we can go out and do something. So I've been in contact with my brother before I made the decision to cancel sprints, and he doesn't have any plans, so we've now made some. Andy is also off tomorrow, so hopefully he will come and join us for the day as well. We're going to go out to a park. Oh, the plane. We're going to go out to Hay Hall, I think, and then we will go back to Matt's and we'll either hang out in the garden or go to the cricket club. So it's going to be nice to spend some time with my family. It's not often we get to do like family days on bank holidays and stuff. And I had this conversation with my patrons and they were like, look, just cancel the sprints, it's going to be fine. And it turns out Claire and Sandra have decided to do some sprints throughout the day anyway. So shout out to them for covering my ass, because I was feeling really bad about cancelling the sprints, but at the same time, if I've got an opportunity to spend some time with my family, I should definitely take it. And it's been glorious today, so I'm a little bit sad that I haven't had the chance to go out today, because they've been up to St Anne's at Lytham today on the beach. But it is what it is. Also, this bad boy came up well, over the last couple of days. It's been coming up and it was under the skin, so now it is glaringly obvious I have a spot on my chin. But anyway, back to A River Enchanted. This is probably going to be my final read. I literally have approximately 61 pages left to go. I've made significant progress in this today and I'm really happy about it, and it's going better than it was, so that's good news. I am enjoying myself with this one. I'm enjoying the mystery aspect to it, the fantasy aspect to it. There are quite a few characters that we are following throughout this book, not just Adira and Jack, but we've also got Torin and what is her fucking name? Sadira as well. And then Jack's mum and sister, who are Mirin and Frey. Jack's mum and sister. So we're following quite a few different characters in this book, and sometimes it is hard to keep them all in my head. I have made some notes for my live show on Tuesday. So yeah, I am gonna finish this one during this reading vlog, but it may run into this evening / tomorrow morning before I go out with fam. So I think I will try and get some B-roll out with my family tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to see my parents or not, but out with my family tomorrow, just because it is part of this vlog and it is running into tomorrow. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So for the rest of the evening now, I'm going to go make some food because I am absolutely Hank Marvin, and then I am probably going to watch some YouTube until the F1 race this evening in Miami at 9 p.m. So I'm going to watch that, and then probably try and get an early night because I am absolutely shattered. It's been a long ass weekend. So that is my update. I just wanted to come on and update you. I am happy with my progress so far with this readathon. I was hoping that I would have got through Mina and the Cult, but it's not worked out that way, and also Death Note. But I have clearly prioritised other books. But I have managed to finish 2 series so far and get up to date with 2 more. So I'm really happy with that. I have also started a series, but that is what it is. If I enjoy this one enough, I may prioritise a Fire Endless for the Box readathon that's not happening like in the week when this goes up, but the week after, which is Patreon readathon that I do every now and then with my patrons, where for a week we prioritise subscription box books. So I may try and read it then, but I already have a TBR for that and it's already 5 books long. So we'll have to see. I may bump something off that TBR. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to go and make some food, and I'll check back in with you probably when I've finished The River Enchanted. Maybe when I wrap this vlog up. We'll see. Let's go, Lando. Can't reach, can you? Hello, it is Tuesday and I am here to wrap the final book support group long weekend in May readathon up. So yesterday I did go out with my family. What did we do? I went to my brother's, we went up to the cricket club for an hour or 2, and then we went back to my brother's, played in the garden with Thomas for a little bit, and then went back to Andy's. And it was a really good day. It was really nice to take some time off. Any time that I complained that I probably should be working, Andy was very quick to be like, don't do that, you're having a day off, you deserve a day off. But it was really nice. And then this morning we watched a little bit of 24 before I came home, and now I am working. So I have edited this vlog up to date. I just have a couple of clips before this one to put in, and that will be done. And then I need to edit Sunday's vlog video, and then I have a live show this evening at 7:30 for River Enchanted, so which I did finish, and I'll tell you about in a second. So very quickly, to run through exactly what I read for this vlog, I did read Sabotage on the Solar Express, which is book 5 in this series by M.G. Leonard and Sam Sedgman, and I gave it 5 stars. Really love the series, very, very good. I then read the final book in this series, which is The Arctic Railway Assassin, and I gave this one 5 stars. Absolutely fantastic series. I'm going to be keeping these books for Thomas because I think he will really enjoy this series, and it's got lots of illustrations in as well, so I think he will love that for sure. So yeah, perfect middle grade series, and it's perfect for adults as well, especially if you're into like train journeys and stuff. Very, very good. Then I did read Lightfall, The Dark Times, book 3 by Tim Probert, and this one I gave 5 stars as well. We had a very good reading week, okay? It was a very good time, lots of 5 and 4 stars. I had a great time this weekend, okay? Then we read The Heart Principle. I read The Heart Principle by Helen Huang. Another 5-star read, absolutely fantastic, love this, can't believe I waited so long to pick this one up, but glad that it's done now, TBR vet. Then I did read Lore Olympus volume 6, which is not the final volume, and I had a good time with this one. I gave it 4.5 stars because for no reason, to be honest. Sometimes these get 5 stars, most of them get 5 stars, but others do feel a little filler-ish. So this was one of those times. Also, I felt like the story jumped about quite a lot in this one, and sometimes I was struggling to keep track of what was going on. But 4.5 stars for this one. Again, thank you so much to Del Rey for sending me this one. And then last but by no means least, A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross, which does start a series, but my intention was to have this finished before Final Book Support Group started over the weekend. It did not work out that way. I did start it on the Monday of this weekly reading vlog and then finished it off actually this morning, so on Tuesday. It took me a while to get through this one, and I do think that it is a combination of me and the book. So to start off with, I don't think I'm in the mood for reading this genre right now. Fantasy romance with an element of mystery in it. I don't know the reason why. I think I either want a romance or I want a thriller. I don't think I want a combination of the two. Again, similar with like fantasy, we're going to find out this week because I've got a couple of fantasies on my TBR this week, but we'll see. So I think that was going on a little bit, but as I did get into the story more, I was enjoying myself a little bit more, and now that I've finished it, I am intrigued to not sit on the sequel too long. So I may try and add that to my TBR, not the current week that we're in when this video goes up, but the week after. I've got Box Readathon with my patrons, which is a week-long readathon to read special edition subscription box books, and I do have the sequel to this from Fairy Loot, so I may try and pick it up during that week. But in the end, it all came together. It was very interesting, a couple of reveals in this one as well, so I am intrigued to see what happens next, and especially with it being a duology as well, I am looking forward to seeing what happens next. This did end up getting a very low 4-star, it was very close to being a 3.5 star. Kath messaged me this morning to see what my full thoughts were on it, and at the time I said to her, I don't know, I think it's probably going to be like a 3-star, I'm not sure. But I have run it through Corepile, and I've tried to be maybe just a tad bit generous on the basis that I'm not sure if it's the book, I think it's me and my mood. So I do feel bad for this book in a way because I'm not in the mood for this genre specifically, and I wasn't in the mood for the book. I feel a little bit bad that I've had no choice but to read it during this week because I have the live show for it this evening. I could have pushed the live show back, but I really didn't want to do that, so it's just delaying the inevitable. This happens on occasion when I have to read a book for a specific reason. Sometimes I just end up not in the mood for it. I like the freedom of mood reading, but I get significantly overwhelmed when I just solely mood read, which is why I set TBRs, to give myself some kind of direction. So in the moment I might be in the mood for it, but very quickly that can turn on its head, and unfortunately that's what's happened with this. And that's the problem sometimes with doing a bi-monthly buddy read with my patrons, like book club read, because in the moment when I give them the options of the books, I'm in the mood for those books, but because I leave them so late towards the live show so that it's in my head and it stays in my head, by the time it comes round I'm not necessarily in the mood anymore, and this has happened several times now. So I'm not sure what to do about that, but on that basis I have been just a little bit nicer with my rating and gone, you know what, in reality if it wasn't for my mood I would probably be way more into this book. So the characters were fine. I wasn't expecting to be following more than just Adira and Jack. We did end up following Torrin a little bit, we followed Frey a little bit, we followed what was his wife called, Sidra? Shit. Sidra, I think she's called. I've made a couple notes for the show tonight. Just dropped my pen on the floor. We followed Sidra a little bit, things like that. So I wasn't anticipating that we would be following a bunch of characters. I just assumed we'd be following Adira and Jack, and that wasn't the case. So overall, I think we did get into Adira and Jack's lives quite a bit, but with the mystery side of it as well, and then following the other characters, I think in general I wasn't like fully invested in specific characters in general. So I gave that a 7 on core pile. The atmosphere was really good, and I did enjoy the atmosphere of this island and of the people and exactly what was going on, the mystery element to it. I gave that 8.5 stars. Then the writing, I ended up giving it 6.5 stars, and there wasn't anything specific with that. I think, again, just because we weren't following 2 specific characters, we were following a whole bunch of characters, and we could be jumping from character to character within chapters as well. And the long chapters, I don't like long chapters, it really bothers me. So I gave 6.5 for that, which, you know, isn't bad, but it just wasn't my favourite type of writing maybe. The plot was good. I do wonder if there's too many things going on a little bit maybe, but I did enjoy the plot. I thought it was quite good. I gave it 7 stars. Well, 7 out of 10, sorry. The intrigue, I am intrigued to pick the next one up. I had to be like realistic in my rating of this. So again, I gave it 7 on core pile. But obviously my intrigue wasn't as high as it probably would have been had I actually been in the mood for the book, which I'm not. So it did get a 7. The logic kind of made sense. I understood it. I understood what was going on. 6.5 for that. And then the enjoyment, I did give a 7. Because again, I've got to be realistic. I was probably, you know, all the way through this book I've been saying I'm not in the mood. I'm not loving it. Blah, blah, blah. So a 7 I gave that as well, which came out at 7.07, which is a 4 star. If I go on the core pile cheat sheet, I think that's just a 4 star. 7.07, yeah, it's just a 4 star, so 7 is a 4 star on the nose. Speaking of, mine looks very, very red. I don't know if I caught some sun yesterday. Maybe. So yeah, it was just a 7. So rough rating guide, 7 out of 10. Good, nothing groundbreaking, and it certainly has issues, but I enjoyed it. Don't know if there was specifically any issues with it. I think I was the issue, which is again why I needed to be a little bit more lenient with my rating with this, because otherwise, had it been the book that was the problem, this would have been like 4s and 5s across the board, maybe even 3s. But it's me that's the problem. I'm fairly certain it's me that's the problem. So yeah, I don't know what to tell you, but it did get a 4 star in the end. It did start a series, like I say, and I have said several times through this video, my intention was to read this before Final Book Support Group started, and then potentially get to a Fire Endless to wrap the series up for Final Book Support Group, but it's not worked out that way. So in the end, I have wrapped up 2 series with the Adventures on Trains and, oh shit, the Heart Principle series. I can't remember what the series is called, the first one's called. I have continued with 2 series, the Lore Olympus and also Lightfall, and then I've started a series with the River Enchanted. I did complete, the only one I didn't complete was Share Your TBR, because yesterday I was out with family and I was having such a good time I didn't get on Instagram to post my TBR, so that did not end up happening. But otherwise I ended up with a full bingo except for Share Your TBR. So I'm pretty happy with how it went. I've made some progress in some series and I've finished some series, which is fantastic news, so which is the aim of the game. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I am hoping that pretty quickly I will wrap this series up as well. It will be outside of Final Book Support Group. If it isn't, Fire Endless will go on my next Final Book Support Group TBR. But yeah, that is everything. I hope you have enjoyed this vlog. Chat to me in the comments down below. Did you take part in Final Book Support Group? How did you do? If you didn't, what did you get up to? And I shall see you in whatever comes next. Bye for now.